Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoring Guides, bringing my guide for God of War 2 on Titan difficulty. Today we're doing part 7, the Bog of the Forgotten. I keep forgetting where I'm at in terms of video parts here, but this is going to be mostly just the Barbarian fight, and this is, strangely enough, besides the Kraken, probably one of the more easier fights, kind of, yes and no. At least easier in comparison to the other boss fights, I mean, because like Theseus is much, to me, he's a little bit harder. To others, you know, it might be different. But yeah, the Kraken is pretty simple too. But I'll explain why he's easy, like in about 5 or so, or a couple minutes actually. So the first part of this fight, he's gonna be running around on his horse, of course, and I didn't mean to rhyme. He's gonna have these souls pretty much protecting him. Now, something you could do that I would assume that's relatively smarter than what I'm probably doing. Or you can do what I'm doing. It's not necessarily stupid. It's just that mine takes a little bit more patience and just, you know, you could accidentally get hit by arrows, which don't do a lot of damage. Something you could do is use your Bane instead, because you do get magic back, but for me, what I found out doing this boss fight, because I kept dying a lot. I say it's easy, but I kept dying a lot. Even though, you know, you don't get much magic back, you could still use it if you wanted. That is, if you want to use magic right now and you don't want to waste it for later, that's totally up to you. And it's a little bit more safer too, especially since you can, you know, have more distance between you and him, and you can kind of, you know, protect from the arrows and stuff. If you do go my route and you do, you know, this 2 to 3 hit combo on him, which usually I only get like about 2 hits in. Sometimes I get like a third one in if I'm lucky enough. After a couple of hits, you know, he'll swing his hammer down toward you, just block it. And if you can keep him pretty much at your side, then you can, you know, continuously hit him and keep him kind of like in a chain lock type thing. But after a while, you know, after you kill off a bunch of the souls and stuff, he'll eventually, you know, start giving up. You'll start to kind of notice that he sort of has like a health bar, even though it doesn't really show an actual health bar, but like the souls do kind of give away a sort of health thing. It's like an indicator pretty much. But after you defeat the horse, this is where the Barbarian technically gets easy, is because this right here... Okay, actually, no, this is the wrong part. Never mind. Okay, spoiler alert. This is not the part I was thinking of. It's the next part when he gets big. You get a checkpoint. Yeah, that's the crazy part. So that right there, by itself, does make the fight just a tad bit more easy to take care of. So in this next section, you can block that slam attack. So whenever you... for this section right here, I want to say, like, instantly go for... getting grabbed does not really matter or not. Like, just as long as you go for a circle grab and you grab them. Grab a soul, and then after that, you know, instantly block to try to protect yourself, because you can get stun locked by these enemies, and they can... Well, the Barbarian can hit you and then eventually kill you. And that hammer does quite a lot of damage. I think it's probably almost close to an insta-kill death if you're not careful. But yes, if you did use magic in the last fight, you could get magic back here. So that's another thing too, is like if you want to use the Bane, go right ahead. I just didn't for some reason because I'm weird. But after the second wave of souls, he's going to spawn in, of course, you know, the guy with the captain, pretty much from God of War 1, which is a nice cameo. I like it. And yeah, so every time you do a circle move on one of these enemies, make sure you're blocking, so that way you don't accidentally get clipped by the Barbarian during that fight. Now, once you've defeated all 3 of the waves, as you saw right there, I had a little edit. I did die quite a few times, not quite often, but just a few times. And you're going to get a checkpoint, essentially. So even if you do die, you will get a checkpoint when he's starting to grow big. So you can now kind of just wail on him and just make yourself a little bit... You can feel a little bit better about this fight, because at this point, you've pretty much almost won the entire fight. Now, the trick with this part is, as long as you have rage, he won't do too much damage to you, and you can at least get in a few hits. Now, the thing that makes this fight more irritating is the simple fact that the camera kind of screws with you. Maybe it's just me, I have bad depth perception or something, but the camera kind of messes with me. Now, the appropriate time to attack, if you are going for an attack, is to wait for like this 2-hit slam thing that he's doing, and then after he does the 2-hit slam thing, that's when you want to start going for some attacks. If you have magic, go ahead and use it on him right now while you got the chance. Might as well, you have it left over. You're going to get magic back at the end of the fight anyway, so it's perfectly fine to do whatever you want. But after you've finally, you know, knocked him out of that, which does take a bit of time, fortunately it doesn't take too long, but once you get him down to like normal size, this is when the part becomes just a tad bit more difficult and easy at the same time. The reason why it's more easy is because now we can have opportunities like this, where he's just kind of more stationary. We can attack him while he's doing something else. And then while he's doing this, while he's charging up souls, that's when you want to attack him. Now, running away from the souls, the direction that I go to, as you saw right there, I did kind of go toward him, and that did work for a bit. So that's one thing. What I would recommend doing is getting as far back from him before he launches the souls. And then after... Actually, I might die. No, I think I'm okay. So after he launches the souls, you want to dodge either forward or at least to the right. You basically want to make them... The souls, you want to have them as close to you as possible before you dodge. And luckily enough, he doesn't have too much health. That's another reason what makes the Barbarian somewhat easy. Now, I'm not saying like, oh wow, he's just, you know, the easiest boss in the entire game just because. No. He'll give you a challenge if you're not prepared for it, of course. Same thing with Perseus. Like, he'll even give you a challenge too, but there's still one of the bosses I would consider easier, mainly for the fact that one, you get a checkpoint, and two, you get, I'm trying to think, a nice bit of health that they have. Like, they both don't have a lot of health, so luckily for us, it kind of makes up for it, because God of War 2 seems to give a lot of enemies more health, it seems, and sometimes that sucks. And you'll see that later on when we get to the Gauntlet section, where enemies just have just a crap ton more health for some bizarre reason, I guess, to make it harder on me. I don't know. But yeah, I get pretty close to leveling up my blades. I think I do level up my blades in this part. I'm not going to level up the Barbarian Hammer. I can't speak today. I'm not going to level up the Barbarian Hammer. I'm not going to level up the Spear. For those that are curious what upgrades I'm going for. Again, I upgrade the blades fully, and I upgrade Atlas Quake to max, and I think I get Urael's Head to level 2. So for those that are curious, I think I get Bane level 2, but that's like way later on. And of course, when it comes to boars, the same thing as always. Fight them how you feel. I just go for grabs. It just makes it somewhat more faster and easier. So yeah, next section is going to be the Temple of Urael. However, I think the inside of the temple is the Temple of Urael, and I think outside of here, I think is probably the River of the Forgotten. So I might have to call it that one. Actually, no. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what the next episode is going to exactly be called, but I'll figure it out. So anyway, we'll deal with these skeleton guys later, and that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody.